Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? I honestly might not be able to beat this mission that's going on in the background using a character that I usually wouldn't use for this level of stuff, but for the video, you gotta use the turning into a tiger form that matches this show so perfectly with what we've already seen with the character's capabilities. But now that we have a little bit more info on what is going on with the friends of the old group and how easy it is for the alien to truly take normal situations and absolutely turn them into extraordinary weird situations, we see clearly that whatever has happened between the group of friends uh, once they didn't know about the aliens' involvement, it became very clear that he had something to do with a lot of different stuff being in motion, which goes to kind of say how much of this is not just fully planned and how much of this is actually just on the humans for doing things like this one girl doing things on her own accord, and the true cause of effect that started it all was bullying and pretty much pushing forward the notion that if you aren't, you if you aren't getting bullied and pushed around and all this different stuff, we wind up seeing a girl who seemingly would stand up for anybody that she seems didn't deserve the treatment they were getting. But once it started happening to her, no one, we didn't really see anybody standing up for her, so to speak, like jumping in and, grabbing the notes that she was receiving, or even being acknowledged by a lot of people that she is going through these things, when really it was only one true friend that she had that acknowledged all of it and really had an understanding of what she was going through. It it hits really hard to know that she was experiencing such things, having friends around that you think you can rely on and everything, and come to find out that they just are nowhere to be found all of a sudden when you're going through the worst of the worst of times, which sucks. But at the same time, it's school. Like, that is 110% high school, and middle school is just, some people are cool, some people get bullied, and it's the perfect little way to just be like, yeah, this is what started their decline in understanding each other as a group of people who have always been close, and all of a sudden a rift created in between them can truly make it obvious that if things continue, it's not going to be good for everybody. And she winds up taking her own life. But one of the friends who were actually there and actually seemed like she just really was support and not someone that was actually standing up and trying to jump in front of the pain and stuff, like she clearly was, but she apologizes in a text message and offs herself, and before everybody in the whole entire group can find out that this girl that was a really good friend to them has taken her own life through her own meanings and reasons, being that she's having a tough time at school and seemingly no one is supporting her like she's supporting others. She then, uh, was going to disappear. She was going to be like a bad case of this stuff, and everybody would have heard about it. But come to find out that one of the friends who already knew the alien didn't want her to disappear. She felt like if she was the one who was gone and not her, things would go a little bit smoother. Things would go a little bit better for her friends, for maybe some of the people who aren't so much friends but were protected by her. things like that, and it just comes off as like very, very scary in the grand scheme of why people's motives are the way they are, and if they are truly these ways, I don't see a lot of ways for them to actually right their wrongs, because their wrongs their wrongs are pretty heinous, I guess you can say. Like, they're pretty dark, and knowing that they'll probably not know about it until really the end of it all, because with how the alien is kind of playing with memories, it just goes to show you how quickly uh, the tide of the battle had changed when it came down to the alien guy having nobody searching for coins, and like some random girl kind of just visiting him, to all of a sudden someone showing up with a coin and creating this ridiculously overpowered person with it by using the coins. And supposedly, if you walk up to this person or this girl, this glowing girl, and tell her your name after she asks, you will disappear. You'll just start to disintegrate. You'll start to get Thanos snapped out of existence. So it was pretty obvious that that was the start of the abilities that we were seeing showcased from the person in, I think his name was like Kaido, um, showcase that anybody who, you know, with coin power still is not anything to him, comparing like they can step up, but they're nowhere near what he is. So yeah, good luck. But then next thing you know, everybody who is anybody is pretty much still trying to collect these coins, still trying to become stronger than the others, or than other people that are collecting them. And it's more or less just coming off as a race for power, uh, compared to just getting all of the coins uh, to better the alien, right? I mean, he's going to get that regardless, because the only way to get stronger is to make a wish. And if you ain't making a wish, then you probably don't got no coins. So I am ridiculously interested in this. Unfortunately, this backstory had to be told in a full episode scope, because once they really kind of played the card of, it feels like everybody should have memories of this stuff. It feels like someone used the ability or the coin to make people forget, or make people not have as much of a clear idea of what was going on. So that was strange to me, because we still don't know why some of them don't. Well, for instance, someone still has memory of them, and that's the girl who supposedly created uh, Soichi the way he is and turned him into that weird doll. But we also know that Claire is in the old school and has found that doll as well, proving the case that it was a connection to somebody, and clearly it was the connection to the big sister and just what already has happened to him as a whole. So it's just one step after another, getting closer and closer to answering all of the questions that probably most people have been wondering about, but not really caring to ask, because it should be explained. Shouldn't be something that you guys should be like, I gotta go out of my way and hope that the artists or the people drop this information. Like, nah, it's definitely gonna be one of those things where if they don't drop it, the show just might not make any sense at all, and we'll be stuck asking ourselves questions and trying to figure out everything without the show even explaining why all stuff is the way it is. So we'll see a good amount of stuff pop off, I feel like, and hopefully we'll get some answers that we actually want at the end of the day. But yeah, overall, This week's episode was decent just because it's the exposition of why certain things are the way they are, including with seeing a guy last week that was as powerful as he was and not giving any real explanation as to why he was so powerful was interesting. So it's nice to see why he is actually the way he is. Where did it all go wrong? And seeing how the girl who knew her best friend passed away by her own hands, not she did it, but her own friend did it herself, becoming her because of the coins, and then still people not understanding the reason why she did it, so much so that the person who wanted the girl that became the friend, he just wanted her as normal her, then attacks that girl because he believes like, oh, you probably killed her and took her spot because you loved someone else that you couldn't have, so you took her life and took her spot. Now you're with him. Like, why did you choose to be with him and not me if it is you in there? Pretty much just, he's beyond jealous. There's someone he truly cared about and tried to, like, look cool in front of and all this different stuff, just to come to find out that she rather disappear and not exist as that person and supposedly be someone else to, actually be in a relationship with someone else. That was what went through his mind, and I don't think we are in a position to be, say he was in the wrong in the case of thinking that, because that's what it felt like too, the way it was going on, the way the story itself played out. It did a good job of making that seem like it could be the case. There was no reason to question him because that made a lot of sense what he was coming to the conclusion to. But then to see that she did it just because her friend was already deceased and she didn't want other people in the group to miss her, her leaving and being gone, she wouldn't be missed. And it almost practically was true, besides that one person who could not let her go and winds up pushing forward this whole entire scenario with the alien. So let's just let's just get ready for next week. It should be an interesting season finale. Another show coming to an end, so hopefully we get to see some new animes taking their spots, because your boy might have to just be taking breaks off with all shows coming out that I'm watching, or I'll just have to start picking up different shows and expanding my Haranda again, to just, anything that looks interesting, give it a chance on the channel and see how you guys feel about it and whatnot. So, with all that being said, though, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I definitely look forward to hearing what you're thinking about this week's episode and the next show I'll be dropping for sure today. So, take care. Oh my god, and peace. Ah! All that screaming and I get bopped. Kill them. Yeah, but I'll show you guys how I can actually beat this thing. I'm still like 2 million off. Almost a mil. This is for trying to make me look bad. Oh my god, these air combos. Bruh. That's so sick. I might die. Hey.